Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second AE Continuing Ed Digital Series. We're excited to have Mary Pink from Iowa State with us today. If you want to ask questions, use the hashtag AE Continuing Ed on Twitter. We'll try to get to those later in the session, but for now, I'm going to hand it over to Eileen Flaherty at Maine, who will be the moderator for today's session.
Thanks, Jared. I'm very excited and happy to share with you Mary Pink, Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Promotions at Iowa State University. I had the pleasure of meeting Mary about almost 9 years ago when I joined the staff at Iowa State. And, I got to know Mary very well and respect what she has done with the Iowa State marketing program there. Marketing at Iowa State, it oversees all the efforts there with branding, ticket sales, advertising, from promotional strategies, merchandising, licensing, all different areas. And Mary has done a great job with her staff. She has a wonderful staff that she's developed over the years that have created this unbelievable environment at Iowa State that has led to national recognition for their accomplishments. In 2012, they received the NACMA Marketing Team of the Year, which is a very prestigious honor. And over the last 6 years, they have received several Best of awards also through NACMA. NACMA is a huge national presence, and Mary had the opportunity to serve as president there and currently serves as an ex officio on the board of directors. And some of her other accomplishments at Iowa State are that she has started the student group, the Cyclone Alley, which if you watch any games for Hilton Coliseum and on the ESPN and nationally, I mean, that there's no student group that is comparable. They really, create an unbelievable environment and make it very hard to win for other teams to win at Hilton. So, I really am looking forward to hearing from Mary, and I'll just kind of pass it over to Mary.
Thanks, Eileen. I appreciate it. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about my background. I'm going to talk some about my philosophy and some of the things that we do here, and then open it up for questions. My career started in sports, working with Minnesota Timberwolves. I started selling tickets for them. I thought I wanted to work in the pros, but ended up changing my mind and interning at the University of Minnesota for a year, and I loved working in college athletics. I just saw such great opportunities to work with student athletes and to help promote sports. And then from there, got my first job here at Iowa State as basically an assistant marketing director, and started here in 1995, and then have worked my way up to marketing manager, then marketing director, and then assistant AD, and then associate AD. So I've been here 20 years, and in this business, that's a really long time. And I recognize that. Another colleague and I were just talking about that it's very unusual. Normally you have to move around in the business. I've been very fortunate in my career to have great people that I work with every day that have, helped me get where I am today. So transitioning to that, I just thought I'd talk a little bit about our marketing department, how we're structured, what we do, just to give you guys an idea. We have about a staff of 5 people in here, and we also have a graphic designer with that. And just to give you guys a sense, when I first started, we started with a staff of 2 of us, and we didn't have a lot of resources. We had a very small budget when we started in 95. Marketing was just starting, and there weren't a lot of resources in the department, and so we really had to learn to manage our budget effectively, as well as figure out additional resources for us. So with that, we started an intern program that has become very big for us. We currently have about 8 interns that work in our office, and they work about 15 hours a week. They have assigned sports that they help us with. They do office work as well as they work a lot of the events, and then they work their assigned sports or projects for us. And we delegate a lot of responsibility to them because even today we need interns to help us to do the job that we do, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them. We also started out marketing 5 sports. And for us, that was just really trying to focus on a couple of putting a lot of attention on our major sports. For us, it was putting the attention on football and men's basketball and women's basketball at the time, and really trying to get those going. So really, it came down from our athletic director to market 5 sports, and that was very good for us just to have a more concentrated effort into what we were marketing, and marketing more of our ticketed sports for us. We've taken on a couple more sports now. We now currently market 8 sports. Some are ticketed and some are not. That was just based on philosophy of the athletic director wanting to make some changes in what we market. Our marketing department also oversees ticket sales, marketing and promotions. We oversee social media for our main accounts for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Snapchat. We also oversee our video board production. We oversee our student spirit group, which Eileen touched on. We oversee our junior cyclone club, our kids club, our merchandise rights contract, licensing, and then our band and spirit squad. So we have a number of things underneath us, and but we still do a lot of things with limited resources today. We've prided ourselves on doing more with less. We have really tried to put a lot into, for us, like I talked about the interns, but we've also tried to find additional resources, such as we have an ad agency, and our ad agency that we work with is a straight trade out. We don't pay any cash for working with them, and they've done fantastic work for us. But we went out to them, and we were looking for an agency that could help raise our level of what we were doing. And so we went to them knowing that we couldn't pay the amount of what it would take to have a full service agency do our work for us. So now we have an agency. They do all of our marketing materials. Right now they just do them for football, but before they used to do football, men's and women's basketball. And then we have, they help with our media buying. They help with creating our other campaign materials for us, our radio commercial. And then we also work with a video production company to create our football commercial, men's basketball, women's basketball, and that is also a trade out as well, so we don't pay any cash for that. And then we have a number of other trade outs with other organizations, radio, newspaper we've done before, and other entities to just help us provide more resources for some of the things that we're currently doing and need to continue to do to market and move our programs forward. I would say philosophy for me has been, don't be afraid to try new things. We are constantly trying to do something different each year. Depending on our sports, we sit down, we talk about some ideas. We're always looking for new things. I really believe in that you got to try things, and you can fail, and that's okay. I tell my staff all the time, if it doesn't work, that's fine. At least you tried to do something different and something new. But it's just, we've really felt like you have to challenge yourself and really challenge others to become better. So, and as a staff, that's something that we really all do, is, we really try to challenge each other to be better, and we all work very collaboratively here as a marketing unit. We meet once a week, but then we are constantly in each other's offices talking about marketing ideas. What do you guys think of this? What suggestions do you have? So we really collaborate a lot as a team, and I think that has been a huge part of how we've won the NACMA Marketing Team of the Year award, and obviously I have a great staff too, so I can't complain. And then other part is philosophy is focus on the fan experience, and the revenue will come. I really believe that if you can do, we haven't won in football in 6 years now, I think. Maybe we've had one winning season since then. And basically what we've consistently tried to do is to make it about the fan experience for us, for football. We have a great tailgating area, and we really emphasize that, but we also do a lot of things in-game to really make our fans feel like this is the place to be. And we've continued, even in years when we haven't won, we've broken attendance records with that. So I think that's where I tell you, I mean, there's other strategies involved, but that's a big one for us. I know the other thing as far as resources that we've really done a lot with is social media. And I know there are many of you probably that don't have social media under you in terms of marketing. Maybe the communications department oversees it. But we then, our units, like we oversee the main accounts, but the other like sport units is communications oversees that. And we work with them to help us promote things. And so, you know, one thing that I would just, you know, suggest is that you really partner with your communications department to help promote. I did look at some of the Facebook pages of some of the schools just to kind of get a sense of that. And some schools are doing a great job with it. And some schools, I think, you know, if you could do more, like that is such a free resource in terms of social media, from Twitter to Facebook. You know, doing Snapchat has been fantastic for us as far as reaching the young demo. Instagram, those kind of social media accounts have been really, really helpful for us. In terms of our planning cycle, we plan pretty far out in advance. I'm very big about being proactive rather than reactive. I start planning for football about 8 months out before the season, and then men's and women's basketball is about 5 months out before it starts. I look for best practices in the industry or outside the industry to give me ideas of things to do. You know, I meet with the agency usually in early January, and then I start meeting with the video company. I just met with them in April to work on our football commercial. And then, you know, our big thing is that we, like I said, we really try to be different in this market. When I first got here, the University of Iowa had pretty much a majority of the market share here. We were, you know, we were Iowa State, and we just didn't have the same presence in the market. And so we really try to be different in order to get out there and to be noticed. So we're always trying new things. We really spend a good part of having a good relationship with our coaches. And that's another thing that I think is very important, is we have a lot of communication with our coaches so that they consistently know what we're doing. I feel like that's more than half the battle, is that if the coaches know what you're doing, they're going to be much more supportive of whether it works or not. At least they know that you're trying and that you are trying to do what you can for their sport. We also have, you know, a budget, which I kind of touched on earlier. It was really small when I first started. Obviously, it's bigger now, but we divide our the budget up into certain you know, we have our regular categories, and then we divide the budget up into certain sports, and everyone knows what their budget is ahead of time. So I know what my football budget is, and then someone, you know, one of my staff members knows their men's basketball budget ahead of time, and then they're given the free rein to spend out of that budget. They just, you know, I have to sign off on certain purchases, but for the most part, they're given the budget, and then they are empowered to spend out of that budget as appropriately. Obviously, we go through a planning process, and I know what's going on, but it's also up to them to work on their sport and to utilize the funds that they have the best that they can and the resources that they have. Another thing that has really been big here for us is community relations. We've done a lot with that. We do a lot of special events here. Our tailgate tour, which maybe some of you as schools do, we go out and caravan the state of Iowa, and then we also go to Nebraska. We also go to Minnesota. And we basically go to these, you know, 5 or 6 places. It's a family fun event. We, you know, it's open to the public, and we have our coaches there and staff, but it's been huge. We used to do golf outings, and we switched over to doing these, and it's been a very big it's been very well received by our fan base. The other thing that we started doing a couple of years ago, which isn't necessarily new, but we started doing a movie night, and we really just wanted to make our fans feel special by giving them something unique to get them on our field. It didn't cost a lot. I mean, it costs money to obviously get the movie rights for doing it, but it was a huge, huge thing for us. We ended up, this last year we did it, we had about 10,000 people come, and it was amazing to see all these people that, whether they attend our Iowa State football games or not, they got the chance to be on the field as an Iowa State fan, and it was fantastic just to see the turnout. The other thing that we try to do for all of our sports is we do a fan fest. We host that fan fest about in August, so right before a season kicks off, and it's for all of our sports. It's free to the public. Again, minimal costs in doing it, but it's an opportunity to get our fans engaged with our sports, whether it's swimming, whether it's track. They get interactive stations, there's autograph sessions, and that has been just a huge thing for us just to keep fans engaged with all of our sports. So that's something we've done. We've really also focused a lot on our kids club. We really put a lot of resources into our kids club because we believe the kids are the foundation of our program. We offer our kids club for about $59, but they get into everything. They get into football, they get into women's basketball. They used to get into men's basketball non-conference, but because we've gotten so popular, that's changed. And then they get into the rest of our sports. So it's really, really affordable. We have about 4,600 members in the club. We've had a high of about 5,500 members before. And, obviously those kids then bring their parents to the events. It starts them on the, foundation for lifelong fans, so that's been really important. And then, like Eileen touched on, we also have Cyclone Alley, which is our student spirit group. We have 3,700 members in the group. We oversell our section so that, like many people have struggled with student attendance, we have had to do that in order to gain, basically making sure our student section is full, but it has been due to the strategy that we've employed. And I think, really, the last thing I would say is that, we really try to communicate with the other departments. We really try to work collaboratively with them as well so that we're all trying to be on the same page and work together. So I know those are just a couple things that I just wanted to touch on, and I can open it up for questions.
Jared, do you have any questions, or you want me to start?
You can start, Eileen, and then we'll take a couple here from Twitter.
Okay. So Mary, when you're talking about marketing programs, are there other metrics outside of ticket sales that you're looking at to show how successful you are?
Yeah, we really look at attendance, especially for the non-ticketed. We look at attendance for them and trying to get people there. We also, other metrics that we use is some, for us, less is more. We don't focus on every single home game like in soccer. We try to figure out which are the games that we think we could garner the best attendance, and we really, could be 5, 6 soccer games. I'm not saying we don't try to drive them to the other games, but we really try to focus on those to try to drive the attendance for us, and that's been very successful.
Nice. As you look at, knowing firsthand, seeing your team that you work with, you've been lucky enough to keep some around, like Nathan, who does a great job, and there's others like Lauren who, have moved on to other places. How do you keep developing your staff and keeping them creative?
I really believe wholeheartedly in empowering your staff. I feel like it's really important to give them responsibility, let them, run with it. Obviously, we do talk about things, so, I'm in the loop and I'm a part of it, but really I let them take on additional responsibilities. Nathan has been with me now for almost 15 years. Again, a long time in the business. And then I've had some people come back. They were GAs for me. They left, and then they came back to work for me again. And I just believe that you have to let people do their jobs and help them be successful, give them the tools that they need.
Now, as new technology emerges, like how do you stay on top of all those new aspects and start to utilize it and create strategies around it?
I do a lot with focusing on Twitter. I read a lot of stuff on that. I am constantly reading up on what's going on. That's probably my biggest way, is to follow different people on Twitter and different publications on Twitter, just so I can figure out what are the newest trends. I also really believe in going to conventions, whether it's you're going to NACMA or you're going to another convention. I just really, really believe that you have to keep learning and keep trying the new things that you hear about.
And I know, like, we have struggled where we moved to a venue that's off campus for men's and women's basketball, brand new, beautiful facility. Any thoughts, on trying to develop that student fan base and what you went through with Cyclone Alley in creating that?
I would say, is trying to sit down with them and figure out, like, what was great is, you have an advisory group with a student with Cyclone Alley, and we sit down with them and say, okay, these are some of the things that we want to do, like, and we have them give us ideas as well. But I think it's important to find out what is it going to take to get them to come to your event, and sitting down and having, whether it's a focus group or having, a brainstorming session, because to them, maybe it's with a new arena, it might be, well, it's too far away for me to go. Okay, so is there some way that we can figure out, and obviously I don't know financials and everything, but is there a way to figure out busing to get the students there so that it's easy for them to not say no? You're giving them, or is it the bus routes? Is there some way to work with the busing on campus to figure out a way to get them out there if it's on campus but just kind of far away? Again, I'm not sure where your situation lies, but I definitely feel like getting feedback really helps.
Jared, do you have any questions?
Yep, we have a couple. The first one we're going to go to is, what is Iowa State's strategy behind Snapchat?
Okay. Well, our strategy behind Snapchat has been to try to do interactive things with our fans. So we've tried to do things like, we've had a cross-promote some of our stuff, whereas sometimes people just keep it as one channel. We've cross-promoted some of the things that we've done, whether it's we've used our student athletes to do follow us for a day, and they do the Snapchat takeover. We've had people submit doodles for us, so we've had a doodling contest. We've had we did this winter, we did an unlock your state that you're following from. So we promoted that on all of our channels, and then basically we said, snap from where you're at and tell us, I'm watching the basketball game from Alaska or wherever, and we'll unlock that state. And then we would give an update as to how many states that we unlocked on all of our channels so that people knew, hey, this is what we're doing. And then we also really do a lot of behind the scenes stuff so that people feel like they get special access.
Okay, we have another one here. Is there a difference in the way you market to your students versus the community?
I think yes. I think we've done some different things. We've definitely done some giveaways to try to get our students in there more than we've had to do with necessarily our fans. I think students tend to have, I think everybody has choices as far as technology. You can watch it on TV, you can whatever, you can go to the game. There's competition for screen time, but I think we definitely try to do different things with giveaways. We try to get the students more engaged when they're at the game, so cheers, chants, things like that, to get them more involved so they feel like it's a fun environment for them and they want to come back.
And then one last question here, and this is just a general social media question, and that is, are there any consistent ways that you can suggest to use social media specifically for marketing?
Yeah, we've used it consistently to market some of our events. We've put some of our event notifications up. We've also done some things that have been like trying to promote with social media, like engaging the fans, because I think it's also about engaging them, ties into marketing. Because I know I'll put a story up that's a press release, and that's fine, but I think it's also much better to highlight some of the things that you're doing, and that gets people also, you got to tell your story in social media, and some of that I know comes in the form of a press release, but a lot of times people want to see the video directly, they want to see the pictures, they want to see the photos, and then we do a lot with infographics to try and highlight some of the things that we're doing. And I think those have been some of our important strategies, is just making sure people know about your event, and then making sure people know what's going on with your sport within that.
Jared, I have one last question.
Sure, go ahead, Eileen. That does it for our Twitter questions. So.
Okay. Yeah, Mary, I know Iowa State as a Learfield school. How do you utilize that partnership in your marketing and promotions?
Well, one question: do most of the schools sell themselves?
I think we're kind of split. I know there are several schools that are partnered with Learfield, and there are some that do sell themselves.
So how do I market?
How do you work or manage that relationship with what you're marketing and and how they're doing the sponsorships?
We definitely try to have a lot of communication. We try to come to them with the ideas that we have and we try to come ahead of time so that they have time to plan and go out and sell those ideas. So we try to come to them and say, we're looking at starting this, and what do you guys think of doing this and helping find a sponsor for it? And so we really try to work within that to try to get them to form more of a partnership. I really feel like it is a partnership. Obviously, they pay a rights fee, and that helps the school tremendously. But we also have to figure out how do we partner to get some of our marketing initiatives done. And I think we've done a pretty good job of it.
I do want to get to one last question. We got one more that came in on Twitter, and I think it's a good one. How do you engage freshmen during orientation week or their first week on campus in the fall?
Oh, well, we have orientation in June. So during that time, we have a table. They have a tabling area. I don't know if other schools have that, but we've had that since I've been here, where we can table, and we offer out posters and schedule cards and stuff for football. So that is one of the things that's highlighted. They also can sign up for we do a lottery now for our freshmen because the popularity of we have an all sports package that includes men's basketball, and that's been very popular. So they can come up and ask questions and sign up for that. So we have that as one piece, and then the other piece for freshmen is it's an event they have. The name is escaping me right now, but it's for freshmen. It's basically a couple days out from school starting, and we have a presence there. We have a booth, and we give out football posters and schedule cards and marketing materials and answer any questions for them. And those two things have seemed to really help get the freshmen engaged. I think it's FaceTime with them. They really, they get hit with so many things that you have to go to them and be around them in order to help market your program.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Mary. Eileen, was there anything else you wanted to get to?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay, well, again, Mary, thank you for your time today. I think there's some very valuable information for everybody to enjoy, and you'll be able to enjoy it as much as you'd like. This will be archived on YouTube. We'll be sending out the link. It'll be available on our Twitter, Facebook, and on our website. So if you want to take a look at what Mary had to say, and again, Eileen, Mary, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
All right, and join us again for our next AE Continuing Ed session. We'll have more information on that when it becomes available. Thanks for joining us.